And a doctor came into the room and said, well, he's had a stroke. Jimmy still seemed really sluggish, and in fact, a couple days after we got home, he was actually sick. And so I took him to the doctor, and sure enough, no, there was nothing wrong with him. He just had maybe a slight cold, and so we didn't worry about it. That weekend, he wanted to go spend the night at one of his friends' house, and I was actually really excited about that because that told me, oh, he's feeling better.
We had gone over to my friend AJ's house, and on our way there, I started acting, I don't know, my friends thought I was on drugs. They thought I did something and I was not telling them about it. And the only thing I remember about that was walking into his basement and just, I couldn't stop laughing at everything. I was, slurred speech. I had Tylenol. Eventually we went to sleep. Then around 3 in the morning, I just woke up with the throbbing head that lasted for weeks after that. But I woke up with that really bad headache, just like rolled onto the floor, threw up, and I'm just laying there. I don't know if I didn't try to move or if I couldn't move, but I just laid there for at least 2 minutes.
Well, Monday morning came around and I got him out of bed and said, you got to go to school. It's first day back from break. And he said, I can't go to school. I can't do anything. I can't even open my eyes. The light is killing me. My head is killing me. And I just kind of blew him off and said, no, you're okay. Get up. You're going to school. You're just tired. You didn't, you just spent the night at your friend's house, so you must be feeling, better. And so I dropped him off at school.
I was walking down the hallways and, people are saying hi to you because you've been gone for 2 weeks. And my my headache was so bad and my sight was almost completely gone that I couldn't see people. I mean, they were walking right past me saying hi to me and I was just completely ignoring them because I didn't know who they were. So I get to class and I really started to notice it when I was going to class and then to my locker after that. I reached for the doorknob, which I thought was right there when it was actually like 2 or 3 more feet in front of me. And then when I opened up the door, I ran into the door and the wall.
My phone rang and it was Jimmy. And he said, Mom, you gotta come get me. I'm running into walls. The light is killing me. I have a terrible headache. I'm falling down. It's embarrassing. So I went and picked him up in the nurse's office, and they said, well, let's go to the doctor. And so we drove there, and they weighed him. And he had lost 9 pounds in 6 days. At the doctor, she said, well, he's dehydrated and he can't keep anything down, so we're gonna send you to the hospital to put an IV in and get him some fluids. And so we said, okay. And she said, and while we're there, let's check out that headache. Let's see if we can figure out what that is and make that go away. And so we got to the hospital and they brought us right in and hooked him up to an IV, and then they rushed him off to have a CAT scan. And they came back a little bit later and a doctor came into the room and said, well, he's had a stroke. Oh, I just felt, when they said, he's had a stroke, it really hit you that, what? And so I asked him to repeat it, and I said, stroke, S-T-R-O-K-E? He said, yeah. And I said, okay. And they showed me the scan, and it was the size of his fist, the part of his brain that was, like, gone.
It's like 12 to 14% of my brain gone.
So at one point we went in and they said, well, we've ruled out most things. We're wondering if he doesn't have a hole in his heart, or what's it called?
A PFO.
So that would be a flap in his heart. And they said, if he had a blood clot and he coughed and the stars were aligned and, funny things happened, this blood clot could have passed through his heart and it went straight to his brain and caused the stroke. So we went into the hospital a couple of weeks later, and under anesthesia they did an esophageal echocardiogram, some test where they put something down his throat, and sure enough it showed that he had a PFO. So we went back to the hospital again a few months later and closed that up. Procedure went really, really well. If the American Heart Association could fund, or I'm sure they do fund all this research and the testing that goes along with, trying to determine things like this, like what is the cause of a 15-year-old stroke. I don't even know who I would thank and kiss for that if they could, with their research say, well, Annie, we figured out why Jim had a stroke, and as a result, we can prevent it from happening again, and he's going to live a normal life, and you won't have to worry about it anymore. So it would just be such a gift. So it's just so nice to know that there is a group that's out there that knows about this stuff, because before it happened to me, it never really occurred to me. I mean, I've sent the flyers out to my neighbors, that say donate to the American Heart Association, and I've given at work before, and I know the logo when I see it, but wow, until you experience it firsthand, you just don't realize what those people are doing for you, and where would we be if they didn't exist? It's baffling to me. So it's really great that there's people out there that care enough to do it. Very, very appreciative.
Thank you a lot for your generosity, for donating to the American Heart Association. You're donating more than money. I mean, you're saving lives. You're helping restore peace in people's lives. There are kids out there who weren't as lucky as me, and with the money that is used for research, maybe things will be all right for them too.